Hello, everybody. Thank you. Oops, let me try that again. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts for the Metrowest Golden Badgers home opener of the summer 2025 season. The Badgers play host to the Haverhill Hitmen here for the second game of their season. Folks, it's a new year, a new summer, and a new set of Golden Badgers broadcasts. And I'm happy to be back here once again. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi is still pretty bad here at Daly, but we'll still be uploading a fully recorded version of the broadcast later tonight with the full video. And we got a new treat for you here this summer, folks. You see, when I'm not covering the Golden Badgers, I do a lot of coverage of high school sports during the academic season. And in my time doing that, I've done something new, which is I've started having some student broadcasters join me as color commentators during my live streams. And this year, for the first time, I'm going to have some students joining me here for these Golden Badgers broadcasts. So, my guest here for today, please give a warm Golden Badgers welcome to Brookline High School rising junior Nico Wise. Nico, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Well, thank you, Jesse. This should be a fun one. Still very early into the season, but a battle of the North Atlantic and Maritime Conferences as the Golden Badgers sit at 1-0 after beating the Vermont Ravens 32-21 this past weekend, and the visiting Hitmen, who shut out the New England Black Panthers 35-0 last weekend, definitely ride momentum. But with both teams having some momentum on this side, they should be able to have a good test to see who can keep their undefeated record.
Absolutely. Badgers start off their season so strong on the road, and hopefully they can keep that momentum here at home as the teams heading to their respective sidelines will soon get this one underway. But first, before we get this game started, we're going to have a word from some of our sponsors. Here, 1 second.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Hall and Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
All right. Thank you again to our sponsors. And be sure to be on the lookout for the newest episodes of the Only Way Is Up Team docu-series that'll come out throughout the year. And now, as we will soon get this one ready, let's go through the rosters. At least let's see if we can get through the roster for the Golden Badgers before we get this one underway. Going in order of jersey number, your 2025 Metrowest Golden Badgers. First from Boston, number 00, Ricky Adams. From Taunton, number 0, Shane Rizzoli. From Boston, number 1, Calvin Guillaume. From Haverhill, number 2, Xavier Garcia. From Worcester, captain number 3, Marquise Hughes. From Marlborough, number 4, Keith Campbell. From Boston, number 5, Jean Janvier. From Hudson, number 6, Kyle Arias. From Hudson, number 7, Joe Lyman. From Brockton, number 9, Hugh Simons. From Milton, number 10, Vincent Duraco. From Boston, number 11, Ray Kirkland. From Pembroke, number 12, Pat Picariello. From Haverhill, number 13, Mark Balkus. From Haverhill, number 14, Jordan Schofield. From Boston, number 15, Jonathan Joseph. From Framingham, number 16, Shane Bushy. From Boston, he usually wears number 29, but today he's wearing number 17, Kevon Doolin. From Somerville, number 18, Ellie Plaza. From New Hampshire, number 20, Kyle Hudson. From Maine, number 21, Mike Middleton. From Boston, number 22, George Tate. From Boston, co-captain number 23, Cuba Morales. From Boston, number 25, Kyle Mitchell. From Haverhill, number 27, Dasani Houston. From Boston, number 28, Ty Holly Sr. From Framingham, number 32, Christian Alicea. From Boston, number 38, Marquise Allen. From Boston, number 40, Gilson Depina. From Boston, number 44, Jameel Sanders. From Natick, co-captain, number 47, Ryan Gorman. From Framingham, number 59, Felipe Ferreira. From Haverhill, number 65, Pedro Escoto. From Lawrence, number 69, Rene Laureano. From Boston, number 70, Roberto Perez. From Boston, number 71, John Waschella. From Worcester, co-captain, number 72, Tony Gomera. From Haverhill, number 75, Larry Benjamin. From Quincy, number 77, Peter Fitzpatrick. From New Hampshire, number 79, Joey Law. From Bridgewater, number 87, Javon Furtado. And from Boston, number 88, Brian Bouillon. Head coach of the Metrowest Golden Badgers is Sock Lubin, with offensive coordinator William Jefferson and assistant coaches Tyrone Fleming, Kari O'Neill, and Jason Sumner. The owner of the Metrowest Golden Badgers is Dante Rogers. So that is the full roster for your 2025 Metrowest Golden Badgers. Again, my apologies for the lackluster Wi-Fi connection here for the video. I hope our audio calls are still coming through okay, so you can still somewhat follow the action here. Like I said, I'll upload a fully recorded version of this, as I am always recording at the same time that I live stream. Opening coin toss happening here at midfield. Just awaiting the official signal. The Badgers won the toss and have elected to defer to the second half. And so the Haverhill Hitmen will receive the opening kickoff here at Daly Field. What was that? All right, so here we go. The two teams getting ready to kick this one off, and it's quite a hot day, Nico. I got to say, I don't envy the players having to wear such, thick uniforms with pads and all of that, especially since they're both wearing black helmets today. It's quite a hot day for that.
Totally, Jesse. I mean, if we're burning up here, I can't imagine what they're feeling, even without the game having started here. But Jesse, definitely I think, especially for the Badgers, I think a big thing here is setting the tone early. You know, they might be the underdog coming into this game, but we know what they're capable of. We've seen it before, and I think setting the tone early, which is one of their big mantras for their team, and setting the tone early is definitely going to have a big factor in this game.
Yes, like you said, the Badgers in the Single A Maritime Conference, Haverhill a Double A team, so on paper the stronger team. But what do we always say? You don't play these games on paper, you play them on the field. And so that's what we're going to see here today as we get ready for the opening kickoff. Badgers lining up to kick this one away. Haverhill's got a couple players back deep. Trying to see the numbers. I think I see for Haverhill, one of their return men appears to be number 33, co-captain Joshua Rodriguez. Can't quite see the number of the other one. We might see it as the action goes. Just waiting for the Badgers to get lined up so we can see who is going to be kicking it away for them. Okay, looks like the ball is being handed to number 27, Dasani Houston, to kick this one. You know, we mentioned one change in jersey number for one Badgers player today, but if anyone notices any other changes, if the video comes through well enough that you notice any other changes between the roster and what's actually being worn, encourage you to let us know in the live chat or any other comments you might have in the live chat. Here we go. Our first game at Daly Field in 2025 is underway. Houston kicks it. It's bouncing, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it was not touched. Almost hit the hand of a Hitmen coverage player, but they're going to say it didn't hit his hand, and it's going to be a, given where it went out of bounds, small difference between where it would have ended up out of bounds versus the penalty spot.
Yeah, like you said, Nick Turner was right there, almost got a hand on it, but let that one go.
And looks like they're going to place it 1st and 10 at the Hitmen 43-yard line. And that is where the game's first drive will start. So hot out here. I think I'm actually going to bust out my umbrella to try and shield us just a tiny bit from the sun. The Hitmen lining up in shotgun formation to start. Quarterback, I believe, is number 1, Isaiah Ocasio. Takes the snap, goes for a handoff. Flag is thrown. Rodriguez running to his left, gets dragged down quick by the Badgers defense. I believe that was the Badgers number 28, Ty Holly Sr. on the tackle, but we'll see what the flag was.
Yeah, Ty Holly did a good job, wrapped his arms around and got him down here, but see how this flag will impact the play here. I think they might be calling it here on the Hitman offensive line.
No. I think they called an illegal substitution on the Badgers there. Yeah, since they didn't blow it dead, I was worried that was going to be on the Badgers, and indeed it was. So looks like it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and replay 1st down. So it'll be 1st and 5 from the 48. Ocasio back in shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Rodriguez sharing the backfield with him. Goes for a handoff. Rodriguez up the middle, grabbed around the ankles and dragged down there. I believe that was the Badgers' number 99, who is not on the roster, but I saw the last name Martino on the back of his jersey. So a nice play from Martino to drag him down, but Rodriguez got about 2 yards there, so it'll be 2nd and 3 from midfield. Quickly going to the next play as Ocasio hands off to Rodriguez, bursts up the middle, finds the hole, and finds the 1st down for Haverhill.
Yeah, right there, just got swarmed. Marquise Allen, the main man there, wrapped him down by the legs, but just a swarm of Golden Badgers as trying to set the tone early here on defense, not allowing anything to happen.
Well, they did allow a first down conversion. Fresh set of downs for the Hitmen as Rodriguez finds a bigger hole, this time to his left. Gets close to the marker there on another big run. The Hitmen seem to be creating some holes on the inside of the offensive line early in this one. As it's going to be second and about 2, and they are going no huddle here. They're running some hurry up. Another handoff. Rodriguez this time going to his right. Pushed a lineman in front of him and easily converts for another first down.
Yeah, saw the captain, Cuba Morales, on his right. Decided to make a quick move, went to his left. And a nice gain there. The Hitman seem to be imposing their will so far. And it's working for them as they set up right around the 20.
Broken up. Well covered there by the Badgers secondary. I'm not sure, but I think that was number 6, Kyle Arrayas on the breakup, but I'm going to wait and see. He's got his jersey pulled up, but I think that was Arrayas.
Yeah, did a good job there, jumping up, getting the hand on the ball. Didn't want to allow an early score there, but did well.
They're quickly going to the next play. Another handoff. Rodriguez has a whole big amount of space and almost fought off another tackle, but ultimately gets dragged down. As I think that was Ty Holly again staying on the effort with the tackle. Prevented a first down conversion, but they still got close. Looks to be third and about 2. No time to really measure it too close as they are still running the hurry up. High snap, fakes the handoff. Flag is thrown. Ocasio dragged down there by number 16, Shane Bushy on the play. But we're going to see what this flag is.
Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was Ellie Piazza who took him down there. I might be misseeing
Oh,
the
yeah,
16
no, you're
and
right.
the 18.
Yeah, I was misseeing. That's a good catch, Nico. I see Shane Bushy sitting there, standing there on the bench, so I misread that number completely. This is why it's good to have backup. Flag was either picked up or it was declined, so we can assume it was against the Badgers, as it's going to be a first down for the Hitmen. Ocasio fakes the handoff, takes off to his right. He's got a blocker, cutting to the outside, chased down, and dragged down by Dasani Houston after the initial contact from Kyle Arrayas.
Yeah, Houston did a good job there. After the cutback, he was able to wrap him up as he was looking to go to the end zone.
Looks to be a gain of about 6, I think, maybe 5. It looks like 2nd and 5 from the 9-yard line. The Hitmen knocking on the door here. Ocasio takes the snap, hands off, a bounce to the outside, a cut in, weaving through, staying on his feet, and reaching across the goal line is number 3, Jordan Jones.
Yeah, Jones did a great job there. Not a lot of room to work with, but takes a step to his right and goes right back to his left, and he's in the end zone for a quick touchdown here for the Hitmen.
The Hitmen all on the ground on this drive. No passing yards, only 1 pass attempt, and it was broken up. But the ground game led by Joshua Rodriguez, Isaiah Ocasio, and ultimately Jordan Jones punching it in as they're going to try for 2, looks like. No, they're going to try for 1. They've got their kicker, Richard Grasso, out there. Snap ball down, kick is on the way, and it is straight through.
Yeah, last game in their 35-0 victory, he went 5 for 5, so expected that one to go through here for the Hitmen as they take an early lead here. But for the Badgers here, a big thing here is they got to strike back, Jesse. Can't give the ball back to the Hitmen. Got to strike back early, do what they do best. Get some points on the board.
The Badgers put up 35 on the road against the Vermont Ravens. This will be their first possession, barring any disasters on the kick return. This will be their first offensive possession at home here at Daly Field in 2025. And although facing a tougher, higher division opponent in the Hitmen, they'll be hoping to get that ball moving once they get possession. The Hitmen driving down the field on their opening possession, punching it in on a 9-yard run by Jordan Jones. Getting set in their kickoff formation. The Badgers have a couple players back deep. Looks like Jonathan Joseph and Kevon Doolin back deep for the Badgers. Those two players combined for 4 of the Badgers' 5 touchdowns against the Ravens. Joseph had 3 receiving touchdowns. Doolin had 1 rushing touchdown. The Hitmen setting up to kick this one away appears to be number 2, Emmanuel Hernandez Jr. Here comes the kick. It's a low bouncer. Picked up off the ground by Doolin. Doolin bouncing to the outside, finding some room. Doolin bowling through a man and getting to about midfield on the return. Good starting spot for the Badgers.
Yeah, did a great job there. Reached around the 45 and just ran over Timothy Reza. Did a great job here as the Badgers will start just around the 50-yard line. And this would be a great spot for them to show their offense for the first time here so far this season at Daly Field.
The official is going to place it exactly at midfield. So the Badgers with a good chance to get into opposing territory right away if they can get some positive yardage here. Last weekend against the Vermont Ravens, Badgers scored 5 times, 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown from quarterback Marquise Hughes, who lines up in shotgun to start. Looks like he's got 1 receiver on his left. 1 on his right, might have a tight end on either side, so they're packing it in tight to start here on 1st and 10. Moving under center and going for a handoff. No, they're trying to flea flicker. The flea flicker was almost dropped, picked up off the ground, and a disaster for the Badgers as they get sacked on the botched flea flicker. Looks like that was Jordan Jones who took down Hughes on that play.
Well, Jesse, not the best first start that you want, as Jones just ran over Peter Fitzpatrick. Even though the ball was bobbled, he did a great job beating his defensive lineman, and Jordan Jones gets to the quarterback for a huge, huge loss to open their first snap so far this season at home. Not what you want to see early on.
A 13-yard loss on that botched flea flicker. 2nd and 23 coming up here. And honestly, they're lucky that that didn't turn into something worse. If that bounce had gone a little more wild, they could have lost the ball altogether. But now they'll get another chance on 2nd down here as they motion a running back way out wide. Hughes takes the snap and gets bull rushed, lost the football, and now it's picked up by the Hitmen. Bowled over, and the ball was recovered by the Hitmen's number 15, Nick Turner, as he was rushing the quarterback along with number 93. And the Hitmen will take over.
Well, Nick Turner, Jesse, not one of the bigger guys on the field, but showing his impact here as not letting his size stop anything as he gets right to the cornerback and forces a fumble and just a disaster start after they almost fumbled on the first play. Now they lost possession here.
Badgers are certainly going to have to tighten up on the line if they want to be able to move the ball the next time they get it. But for now, they are back on defense. Hitmen, 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 27. They go for the handoff. Rodriguez bursting upfield, and I think he's going to get the first down and then some on that one.
Oh, Jesse, not what you want to see here. Looks like there's a Badger down. I don't Can't exactly see the number.
I think that's Kevon Doolin. I think that's number 17. Yeah, that's number 17. That's Doolin.
Yeah, Jesse, I think what really happened on that play was, I believe number 99, Jonathan Hunn, stepped on his ankle as he was trying to dive to make a play on the ball carrier. I think his ankle might have gotten stepped on. Not what you want to see early on in the game.
Boy, it's been a tough enough start for the Badgers as they've been getting pushed around in the trenches early in this one, giving up a 100% rushing drive, ending in a touchdown for the Hitmen. Then 2 blown up plays in the backfield, one of which resulting in a lost fumble. And now after another big run to start for the Hitmen, a Badgers player down hurt.
As he looks to be carried up off the field.
Putting his arm around one of his coaches. Coming off hobbled, Kevon Doolin, one of the touchdown scorers last weekend for the Badgers. Certainly not someone they want to lose. You don't want to lose anybody, but definitely don't want to lose a guy who's proven he can find the end zone for you. And with the injured player off the field, we resume the action here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Hitmen at the Badgers 14, and a flag thrown. That's going to be a false start on the offense. That's going to put him back 5 yards to the 19, and it'll be 1st and 15.
Yeah, a little break here for the Badgers. See if they can clear their minds and get a stop here, as you don't want to go down 13, possibly 14-0 early in the game.
Ocasio back in shotgun. Fakes the handoff, quick screen, hits his man, juggled a bit, but takes off running, wrapped up and dragged down after a short gain there. Having trouble seeing the number, I think.
I believe that's James Lundy. I believe that's 23, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. When I was looking, I thought it was, yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
that's 23. I thought it was 28. I'm glad we got your young eyes here to see this better than me. All right, so a short gain. Still going to be 2nd and more than 10. I'm going to say about 12 to guess. Fakes a handoff, floats a pass, complete to number 4, who's got a lane. He's going to bowl over the last tackler into the end zone. A touchdown for Tashawn Watson.
Yeah, Watson did a good job. Gilson DePena was there, but got hidden. And unlucky here for the Badgers, as they possibly have a chance of going down 14-0 quite early on in the game.
2nd touchdown of the day for the Hitmen on as many drives. As Grasso back out to kick the PAT. Ocasio the holder once again. Kick goes up and gets through. So that'll make it 14-0 Hitmen here in the first quarter.
Grasso now 7 for 7 on the season on extra point attempts.
We got our first note in the live chat from QB15 saying, hey, my team will be playing the Badgers next Saturday. I play for the Silverbacks. Referring, of course, to the New London County Silverbacks, who will be here at Daly Field facing the Badgers next Saturday. We'll have live coverage of that one back here, same place, same channel, and around the same time, a 5 o'clock start scheduled for that one as well. And one can hope that the Wi-Fi might be a little stronger that day, as I know it hasn't been good so far. And again, my apologies for that. Unfortunately, there's really not much we can do other than promise that we'll get the fully recorded broadcast up online as soon as possible later tonight. But for now, the Hitmen preparing for another kickoff. Looks like they've got a different kickoff man this time, as they had Emmanuel Hernandez Jr. kicking it off last time. I think they've got they got Grasso out now. Are they trying for a more precision onside kick or something? No. Weird curve that's going to be allowed to bounce out of bounds. Good watch by Kyle Arreyes to draw the penalty there and give the Badgers some solid starting field position.
Well, Jesse, they had even better starting field position last time they were out here, and it resulted in a fumble and a turnover, which led to 7 points. So definitely Badgers want to come out here with a different mindset, try and get back in this game, as points here on the board, Jesse, definitely crucial so early on in the game.
14-0, the Hitmen lead the Badgers here in quarter number 1. Badgers will have 1st and 10 at their own 35, so yes, not nearly as good as when they started at midfield last drive, but if their drive can be in any way better than the last one, which not much worse it can be than that last one, then, you know, can still be a step in the right direction. Hughes in shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and 1 back on his right. Takes the snap, looking, takes off running with it, trying to find room, and bursts forward for a short gain.
Yeah, Hughes able to escape about 4 Hitmen that were easily gone through the offensive line, but Hughes did a great job. He slid right to his right, got past, even though it's only a short gain. That's their first gain of the game, Jesse, so
that is
a step
true.
in the right direction for the
First
Badgers.
First positive play on offense for the Badger offense, a gain of 5 yards on the scramble by quarterback Marquise Hughes. 2nd and 5 from the 40 coming up. This time they're going to have 3 receivers on the left and 1 on the right. They're going to put the running back on the left of Marquise Hughes this time, so they flip the formation. Hughes scrambling right into a pass rusher, stays on his feet, takes off running, looking, fires a pass, has a man wide open, Shane Bushy running down the sideline, and he's going to get forced out of bounds deep in Hitmen territory.
We'll talk about a play from Marquise Hughes. What a play. He was hit, forced to scramble out of the pocket, escaped, and just a beautiful placed pass right to Shane Bushy, who runs, and they're right around, I believe, the 10-yard line. And from their unfortunate start in their first drive, Jesse, looking a little better here, but don't want to jinx anything yet, as no points are on the board yet for them. But definitely a big play.
Marquise Hughes pulling a rabbit out of the hat, looking like classic Fran Tarkenton on that scramble throw, finding Shane Bushy for a huge gain down the left sideline. The Badgers just outside the 10-yard line, so they can still get a first down. I believe they're at about the 13. 1st and 10 from the 13. They line up once again, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. And we got a jump, and they're going to call false start on the Badgers. They're going to say one of the O linemen jumped, causing one of the D linemen to jump, and so that'll be pushing the Badgers 5 yards back.
Yeah, I believe Felipe Ferreira, right there, the center for the Badgers, just went a little too early, and all of a sudden, Badgers are forced back a little bit, but still deep in Hitman territory, so big here.
Still in the red zone at the 18-yard line. But the Badgers going to need to keep things moving as they flip the formation. 3 receivers now on the right, 1 on the left. Looks like Ricky Adams, the running back, on the left of Marquise Hughes. And the snap is bobbled. Adams recovers it, takes off running, and this play is going to go backwards for the Badgers as they, again, narrowly avoid disaster but lose significant yardage as they're going to be pushed back to the 23. And so it'll be, I think that might be the end of the first quarter. It's going to be second and about 20 off a 5-yard loss there. And I believe we're going to be moving. Yep, we're switching sides. That's the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, our score, the Haverhill Hitmen 14, the Metrowest Golden Badgers 0. Two quick scores for the Hitmen on their opening drive and off of a Badgers turnover. Badgers on offense trying to answer back after the big pass from Hughes to Bushy. But now after a false start and a botched snap, they find themselves pushed back to a 2nd and 20 situation. Maybe 2nd and 19 actually from the 22-yard line. Waiting for their last O-lineman to come out before they can get properly set. Looks like they're going to have 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Running back's going to be on the right of the quarterback this time. And a timeout is going to be called by the Badgers as I think they were running up against a delay of game. They just weren't able to transition from one side of the field to the other fast enough as one of their players was lagging behind a little bit and forced to call a timeout there.
Yeah, Jesse, a chance also here for the Badgers. Have a little time to reset as they are still in the red zone, but about 10 yards back than where they were after that huge gain. Would love to make something happen here, get some points on the board as they're still down 14.
And during this break in the action, we're going to play a quick ad. All right, had to cut that one a little short as the team's back out on the field here. Getting ready to get things going here on 2nd and 19. Hughes looking to throw, winds and fires, and Bushy turns around to, oh, he didn't turn around fast enough. He wasn't looking back at it, and it drops right at his feet.
Yeah, and unlucky there for the Hitmen as well as Julian Torres was just looking a little lost. Had a chance to intercept that, but a big missed opportunity here for the Badgers. But a good look at least, Jesse.
Yeah, certainly makes them aware of an opening that they could potentially exploit. But boy, it's always tough when your receiver just wasn't looking back in time to get that pass. 3rd and 19 coming up for the Badgers. Definitely 4-down territory here for the home team as it looks like they're going to set up with 4 receivers on the left and 1 on the right. Bit of an exotic formation here empty backfield. Hughes takes the snap, and it's a QB draw, and he's just trying to juke around, and he's got nowhere to go as that play does not work at all, and the Badgers will be faced with 4th and long.
Yeah, forced to roll out, and Steven Simpson was right there to grab him down, and now we're to 4th down. But Jesse, I think, like you said, this is definitely 4th down territory, as a field goal in the long run I don't think is really going to do you no good.
And also, I don't think the Badgers have someone who can kick from this distance. A lot of teams tend not to have kickers at the single A level. The Hitmen, of course, they've enjoyed the services of Grasso, who's been perfect on PATs so far this season, as you mentioned. But for the most part, a lot of teams, especially at the single A level, it's go for it on 4th down in opposing territory, go for 2 anytime you score. Badgers with a tight formation here, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver out wide on either side. Hughes takes the low snap, steps back, looking, firing, defender slipped. Oh, but the shot went over the outstretched hands of Jonathan Joseph, incomplete, and that will be a turnover on downs.
Well, Jesse, definitely not what you wanted here for the Badgers, as they were put in quite the dream scenario after the rollout pass got to about the 10-yard line and were looking great, but after a penalty, a loss of yards, the Badgers come out with nothing, and the Hitmen return to the field after 2 dominant drives to start the game, look to add to their lead.
And it's such a shame for the Badgers because it feels like a missed opportunity in more ways than one, as they had an open receiver on 2 pass plays but just misconnected. You know, it's one of those things we take for granted when we watch the NFL. Having a connection between quarterback and receiver, not as easy as it looks. And the Hitmen going to start their drive with a handoff to Rodriguez. He goes to the right, gets sandwiched between a couple of tacklers, but makes a decent gain there on 1st down.
Yeah, Kyle Mitchell kind of coming a little out of position on that, as he was put in a safety position there and came down, got the stop there for the Badgers, but still some nice yards early on here for the Hitmen.
About 7 yards on that play by Rodriguez. Takes another handoff, goes at the middle, stood up, and did the ball come out? It looked like there was a bit of a scramble for things. I think it's going to stay with the Hitmen. But it also looks like they're going to be maybe just a yard shy of the 1st. Let's see where they mark it. They might mark it right at the line to gain. And I think they did. They marked it right at the line to gain, exactly 3 yards gained by Joshua Rodriguez, as the Hitmen just barely convert the 1st. And we got a flag thrown on the play.
It's going to be a false start, I believe, on the Badgers.
Well, if it's on the Badgers, it would be offsides.
Or offsides, excuse me.
Yeah, if it's on the Hitmen, it would be a false start. It's just a matter of who jumped first. Someone definitely jumped. They blew that play dead, and they're going to say it was the Hitmen that jumped. You got the call right, just the team wrong. It was a false start. That'll be a 5-yard penalty on the Hitmen. Push them back to the 27, 1st and 15. Ocasio back in shotgun. Looks like 2 receivers on either side. Rodriguez on his right. Handoff. Rodriguez, a huge hole to run through. Gets dragged down after a decent gain on that play.
Yeah, finally pushed down there at the end by Dasani Houston.
Looks like got up to about the 36, so that's going to be a gain of about 9. Bring up 2nd and 6. And similar formation here, 2 receivers on either side of Ocasio. Snap, handoff, and dragged down from behind Nice chase down tackle by number 99 for the Badgers.
Yeah, I don't believe, Jesse, we have a number on him, but he's been involved in a bunch of important plays so far here for the Badgers defensive side, not allowing plays to gain more yards than would have been.
Looks like a gain of about 2 on the play, up to the 38, 3rd and 4. We got some movement, not called. Ocasio fires a deep shot, and oh, was that held on? Did he hold on to the ball? The officials are going to say yes. We saw early movement from both lines, uncalled, but then a spectacular circus catch by the Hitmen's number 23, James Lundy, almost broken up by the Badgers' number 5, Jean Janvier. But just barely got his fingertips on that ball to haul in a huge catch. 1st and 10 for the Hitmen.
Well, almost deflected off, but just a spectacular grab out of the air. Now the Hitmen put in another great scenario here.
Ocasio barely gets the ball away and couldn't be caught as 2 teammates actually kind of got in the way of each other. Number 7, Jose Montañez, trying to lay out for that one. Understandable, as he didn't see number 3, Jordan Jones, on the comeback route coming back towards the ball. And so it kind of ends up as an offensive pass deflection.
Well, Jesse, in those scenarios especially, you're glad there was no head-to-head contact, as both of them were kind of running at each other. But nothing happens.
2nd and 10 here from about the 25 on the Badgers side of the field. Ocasio, a screen pass, misses. And so that'll bring up 3rd down. It'll be interesting to see if they I'm pretty sure they decided that was an incomplete pass. If that had been even just a little bit backwards, it would have been an out-of-bounds fumble, and they would have lost all that yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 25. Definitely 4-down territory here for the Hitmen, as it would be a pretty lengthy field goal attempt if they were to try and bring out Grasso on 4th down. Ocasio got the big completion for the 3rd down conversion last time. Standing in the pocket now, floating up a pass too far, intended for Montañez. Was covered from multiple directions, but ultimately the throw sails out of reach for both offense and defense. 4th and 10 coming up.
Yeah, I believe that was Kyle Mitchell over there. Did a great job getting on that, not allowing anything. Actually was basically shadowing his man perfectly. Did a great job now. And we'll see what the Hitmen decide to do here on 4th down.
Yeah, I think it was number 24 on that coverage. We don't have, wasn't listed on the roster. But I might be seeing it wrong. I've been seeing numbers a bunch of times wrong. Either way, big 4th down. And we got some premature movement. This is going to go against the Badgers as the play is still going. Ocasio with the free play, throws one up. It's caught, but caught out of bounds. But I don't think this will quite be the turnover on downs, as a couple of Badgers pass rushers, I think, got a little over-eager and jumped the line there.
Yeah,
and indeed, that's going to be offsides.
And almost a spectacular grab by Richard. I believe that's Richard Grasso, their kicker. I might be seeing that wrong. That might be 18.
Oh, no. If there's a second number 16 on the Hitmen's roster, that's Sean Osorio.
I was seeing it. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it's a bit tricky. Sometimes you get numbers doubled up at this here at the semi-pro level. Trying again, 4th and 5. Ocasio, statue in the pocket, throws a pass. It's complete. And it's complete to Jordan Jones. And it's going to be enough for the 1st down. So the Badgers, almost a big defensive stop twice this drive, but first the spectacular catch by Lundy, and then the offsides leading to a 4th down completion. Fresh set of downs. It's going to be 1st and I believe goal from, I think, exactly the 10-yard line here. So nowhere to go but the end zone for the Hitmen here. 2 receivers on either side of Ocasio as he steps back, looking, and brought down for a sack. I do believe that was Ellie Plaza.
Yes, that was. Did a great job, broke free, got right to the quarterback, and down he goes. And a good stop and a much needed one, Jesse, here for the Badgers if they want to come out of here.
And that'll be a 9-yard loss off a clutch sack that was needed there. 2nd and goal from the 19-yard line. But the Badgers have had some temporary swings in their favor that have ultimately not held. They've got to keep going and follow through on that momentum if they want things to really turn their way. Ocasio takes the snap, hands off, trying to spin off the tackles, nowhere to go as number 4, Tashawn Watson, dragged down for, I believe, no gain on that play.
Yeah, and again, Ellie Plaza showing his worth on this team. Another big impact play again, as it's 3rd down here for the Hitmen.
And actually a loss of 1 on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 20. So 10 yards lost with Ellie Plaza stepping up on both plays. A combined tackle with some teammates on 2nd down, but a solo sack on 1st. He's going to sub out for a quick water break here. 3rd and goal for the Hitmen. Ocasio stepping back, fires a floater, looking for the end zone. Oh, was that caught in? No, just out of bounds. As I think that was Osorio who almost came down with that one, but just barely out of bounds, and it'll be 4th and goal, touchdown or bust for the Hitmen.
Yeah, great job there. Jonathan Joseph shadowing his man, not allowing him to have a good look at the ball. He's able to force him out of bounds, and no touchdown here as 4th down here for the Hitmen from a ways out.
And some good pressure again from the Badgers' defensive line on that play, as Ocasio might have had to rush that throw just a bit. And so the Hitmen need to go 20 yards to the end zone, otherwise they will turn it over on downs. Can the Badgers come up with the defensive stop here?
Yeah, quite the, I know it might be early to say, but a little make or break play here for the Hitmen.
Ocasio, a statue in the pocket, fires across the middle, hits his man. Sean Osorio to the end zone, touchdown Hitmen.
And I think a miscommunication between the middle linebackers and the safety there, as there was just an opening inside a little triangle that they made, and they were like, hey, can you go for it? Can you go for it? But no communication there. And an easy one here as the Hitman make it 20. Possibly 21 here. See if he can stay 8 for 8.
And Richard Grasso out for the PAT off the receiving touchdown by the other number 16, Sean Osorio, as Isaiah Ocasio picks up his 2nd passing touchdown of the day.
Grasso looking to stay 8 for 8 here.
Kick goes up, and it is through. So he stays perfect on PATs so far, as the Hitmen take a 21-0 lead over the Badgers here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, Jesse, I would say, I know another touchdown scored, but the Badgers defense looking a little bit better, and see if that can translate to their offense, because down 21-0, not much you really can hope for. So maybe an offensive spark here toward the end of the 2nd can lead to something here.
It would certainly be good for the Badgers if they could get things moving. We are late in the second quarter. Unfortunately, no scoreboard clock out here at Daly Field, or at least none that are operational for these games. So the only way we can tell when halftime comes is when everybody heads off for their halftime break. But for now, the Hitmen going back to Emmanuel Hernandez Jr. on the kickoff. They have alternated kickoff guys for each kickoff so far. They went with Hernandez for their first one after their first touchdown, and then I think they actually went with Osorio the second time, and now they've gone back to Hernandez here for the third. Badgers have had good starting field position off of the past couple of kickoffs they've gotten. Hernandez sends a bouncer, ricochets off a Badgers player, and falling on it just barely was number 7, Joe Lyman.
Jesse, they did end up getting the ball.
Wait, they're giving that to the Hitmen?
Yes, I believe right at the end of that, Nick Turner came up big right there, stole the ball out of his hands. He dove under right before the ball got to a Badger player, and I believe it's Hitman ball.
There's going to be a conference between the officials here to figure out. I wish I'd been fast enough to press the replay button on that one so we could take a closer look. A wild play as the ball ricocheted off the hands of Keith Campbell. Joe Lyman seemed like he was going to be able to fall on it and get his hands on it, but no. They point to the Hitmen, and so another Badgers turnover, this one on special teams. And so the Hitmen will have a chance to go up 4 scores before halftime.
Well, nothing going their way today. And I was just about to say, Jesse, that with the Badgers having the ball, if they were to get some points on the board, they would get the ball after halftime, and maybe this would be a different game. But now the Hitmen already in the Badgers' side of the ball with on the 44, looking to score again right before halftime, Jesse. This game really turned after that play as the Badgers maybe had a chance to get back in the game there, but totally different now.
1st and 10 now for the Hitmen as they get the ball right back. The Badgers defense, after trying to make a gutsy stand on the last drive, they have to come right back out. Ocasio hands it off. Bursting up the middle is Rodriguez. He gets taken down by a caravan of Badgers players, as I think a timeout is going to be called to stop the clock after a gain of 5 on that play.
And Jesse, I believe, I know we don't have a number yet, but number 99 for the Badgers seems to be limping off. Maybe in that swarm of Badgers and Hitmen.
Might have gotten
got an ankle stepped on or
yeah,
something.
might have gotten rolled on or something, as he's coming off a little hobbled. 2nd and 5 from the Badgers' 39-yard line. Ocasio back in shotgun, 2 receivers either side. Snap, handoff. Rodriguez has a hole to his right. Big hole to the outside. And he goes down the sideline and gets taken down. More than enough for the first as the Hitmen going deep into Badger territory.
Yeah, bounced off Plaza and thought he was going to go down, but stayed on his feet, got a hand down on the ground, pushed himself back up, and got an extra 5 or 7 yards.
It'll now be 1st and 10 from the 20 as the Badgers going to call timeout here. Try and take a break. We'll run one of our ads and be right back.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Hall and Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 20-yard line. Here in the second quarter, the Haverhill Hitmen already up 21-0 on their lower division opponent, trying to make it a 4-score game before half.
Yeah, and I know not much has gone their way so far for the Badgers, but defense looked quite solid on their last time out. And, you know, if anything's going to go their way today, maybe the defense can bring some life back to this.
Well, we'll see what they do here now. 3 receivers on the left and 1 on the right for the Hitmen. Ocasio handoff. A bounce to the outside. Finding blockers. Jordan Jones forced out of bounds. As I do believe he got another first down for the Hitmen, and I believe they're going to have 1st and goal here.
Yeah, Jones did a good job getting around that outside. Beat 2 of the Badgers players and just got right before the end zone. And now, with time still running out here in the second, the Hitmen look to add to another touchdown here for number 4 possibly of this first half.
They are 6 yards away here, 1st and goal from the Badgers' 6-yard line. They're lining up in the I formation here, different from what they've shown for most of the game. Might be going for a power run up the gut. They hand it off, looking for somewhere to go and nowhere to go as number 4, Tashawn Watson, gets dragged down in a cloud of dust there. Might have gained 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Yeah, see if they try to go back to that. I don't think they will. Oh, they do.
Well, they're going with the same formation. Rodriguez, the fullback, Watson, the halfback, and a timeout called here. I think it might have been called by the Badgers. They were trying to get aligned on defense.
Yeah.
Just some miscommunication over where our guys needed to be. They didn't like the look. Now trying to get set.
Gotta watch that gap right in between as they'll go through it.
They go for the fullback dive, and Joshua Rodriguez wrestles through for another Hitmen touchdown.
Yeah, I believe that's what on the sideline they were trying to communicate, saying watch the gap, and the gap he goes for another touchdown. Grosso looking to stay 9 for 9, 100% on the season here. Make it 28-0.
Second rushing TD of the day for the Hitmen, a 4-yard score for co-captain Joshua Rodriguez, as the Hitmen trying to go up 28 here in the first half. Grasso's kick is good. Sorry about that. 28-0, the Haverhill Hitmen lead the Metrowest Golden Badgers here at Daly Field in the second quarter. And yeah, just not a lot. The Badgers have had a few plays go their way, but nothing sustained. And they've just had a couple of really bad breaks in terms of turnovers that have allowed the Hitmen to really pile on the score here.
Well, Jesse, I know we don't have that number, but really, if we were to look at it, the offensive time of possession would be completely dominated by the Hitmen. It's not just because they're up in score, it's just the turnovers that have happened. We've now just had one on a kickoff where they lost the football, and another one where there was a forced fumble on the quarterback on the second play of the game for the Badgers, so nothing really going their way so far right before halftime.
We'll see how the Badgers handle this upcoming kickoff. Like you said, Nico, the last one did not go so well for them. Lining up to kick will once again be Hernandez. Kick comes in with some height. Caught by Arrayas. Arrayas running it up the sideline. Stumbles a bit, taken down. Decent field position there as he gets past the 40. And the Badgers will actually get the ball properly this time on offense.
Yeah, Nick Turner again for the Hitmen. Impact player. Been there on a lot of chances. Like I said, not the biggest guy, but definitely doing a lot. But now here for the Badgers. This is a big opportunity for them, Jesse. I know a win might be out of reach, but
getting some points on the board can still be big.
Just try and get some motivation for your team.
Exactly.
See what can happen.
Build some energy, build some momentum, and get some things you can build off of for next week, if nothing else. And there's still a lot of football left to play. 1st and 10 for the Badgers from their own 43-yard line. They're going to come out with what looks to be a 2 tight end set, 1 receiver out wide on either side. Running back on the right of quarterback Marquise Hughes. Takes the snap, rolling to his right, ball's under his arm. He's just going to take off running with it and hurdles forward for a nice gain.
There we go. Nice gain there. As he loops around a couple Hitmen defenders. Eventually tries to hurdle over, but just gets tossed. But a nice gain there, Jesse. It's what you want to see, just those couple 7-8 yards.
Looks to be a gain of 9 as it'll be 2nd and 1 from the Hitmen 48-yard line. Just the 2nd trip into opposing territory for the Badgers here as they go with the same tight formation. 1 receiver out wide on either side. Hughes steps back, standing in the pocket, firing a deep shot, looking for Joseph. Too far, had his man beat, but the throw just too far as they went for a deep shot on 2nd and short.
Well, Joseph, that's their guy on offense. Had a monster game last week. They were looking for him, but the ball just a little overthrown. But, Jesse, that's what you want to see. Those plays, those opportunistic plays that haven't really had anything so far this game. But now we're seeing something just at the end of this second.
3rd and 1 coming up for the Badgers. As this time they're going to put 3 receivers out on the left, 1 on the right. Do they go for the short gain here to get the first, or do they try for a big play again? Hughes takes the snap, takes off, and he gets wrapped up in the backfield with nowhere to go. The play blows up completely for the Badgers as they lose significant yardage on that play.
Yeah, and I believe it.
That's going to be a loss of 6. And it'll bring up 4th and 7.
Well, Jesse, I mean, we saw on the play prior looking to go to Joseph, but didn't really go for him. As we know, last week he had 119 yards on just 3 receptions, so we know
all touchdowns.
Yep, he's their home run hitter.
But that time they tried to go for the short yardage. They were trying to go what looked to be another QB rollout, but things got blown up on that left side of the on the Badgers' right side, the Hitmen's left side on the line there, and left Hughes with nowhere to go. Fourth and 7, the Badgers trying to keep their offense out on the field here late in the first half. 2 receivers on either side of Hughes. Oh, and a hard count, but I think faked out his own receiver as Joseph jumped on that play. And it's going to be 4th and even longer for the Badgers as they move back another 5 yards.
Yeah, Jesse, if I were to have to guess, I know we don't really have a time clock, but I would say we probably have sub 1 minute.
Oh, looks like it's going to be 4th and 10. I thought it was going to be 4th and 12. I must have miscounted the loss on the previous play. Or maybe I misread the spot. Either way, 4th and 10 now for the Badgers. They stay with 2 receivers on either side. Running back on the left of Hughes. Snap, step back, throw over the middle, and too short. Couldn't come back for it, incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, either way, I think, Jesse, the Hitmen are kind of lucky there because Chino and Jordan both looked like they were going for the football, and the ball was tipped. But honestly, in that situation, Jesse, if you're the Hitmen, you'd rather that ball not be intercepted because you would get better field position. So kind of a lucky play as...
Yeah, and a tough play for the Badgers. It looked like Joseph was running right into double coverage anyhow. Didn't have inside leverage on the cover guys. Looks like he might have had Joe Lyman trailing him, and Lyman might have had some opening, but quarterback didn't see him, and throw was missed. So the Hitmen get the ball back, and boy, they have a chance to match their total margin of victory that they had against the Black Panthers last week, just in the first half here today. 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 43-yard line. Ocasio fakes the handoff, steps back, going for a home run pass. Thrown up, broken up just barely by number 24 on the play. And I think that's, is that halftime? Is that what that whistle was for? A big breakup by number 24 for the Badgers, as that almost turned into a big touchdown pass. But instead, we will break for halftime with the score: the Haverhill Hitmen 28, the Metrowest Golden Badgers 0.
Yeah, Jesse, and I think going to this halftime, even though they're down, just going to try and get something out of this game.
Absolutely. All right, alongside Nico Wise, I'm Jesse Mayfield Sheehan here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. We're going to take a break. We're going to run our ads and then keep our mics muted, but we'll be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
Hi, my name is Cam from Cam's Crochet Creations. I'm here at this Hall and Green every Sunday from 10 to 1, and I sell bags, bucket hats, bandanas, stress blobs, dinosaurs, and more, so come check it out.
Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan alongside Nico Wise here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, here to bring you the second half of this NEFL summer football contest between the Metrowest Golden Badgers and the Haverhill Hitmen. The visiting Hitmen coming off a dominant first half where they took a 28-0 lead, and now they'll be kicking the ball away to the Badgers to start the second half here.
Yeah, Jesse, I mean, game most likely out of reach here, but if we can just get something on the board for the Badgers, be nice.
Emmanuel Hernandez kicking this one away. It's going to be taken by one of the return men. Kevon Doolin is back in the game after leaving with an injury early in the first half, and he's got the sideline, and he is taken down in Hitmen territory.
Well, I mean, such an impact, Jesse. We see now that he's back here, already big impact as, again, Jesse, a nice starting position that we've seen now a couple times.
And both off returns from Doolin, as he got the opening return at the start of the game, now gets the opening return at the start of the second half, and makes the Hitmen pay for it both times, this time even more so, as the Badgers will actually be starting their drive in Hitmen territory for the first time today. 1st and 10 from the Haverhill 45.
See if they can get something going here early. As we've been talking about it all day. Just a long connection. Joseph can make a big impact.
1st and 10, Marquise Hughes, the quarterback in shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off. Doolin bouncing to the outside, and he gets dragged down. Nick Turner, again, an impact player on defense for the Hitmen.
Yeah, it's about the 4th or 5th play, big impact he's had. See if the Badgers can overcome here as another loss of yards.
Tough spot for the Badgers. They're going to say they lost 7 on that play. All the way back to their own 48-yard line. So the Badgers try to go on the ground on their first play. It does not work. Let's see what they try and do on second down. Looks like they got 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. I think they got 1 tight end on the left. And a running back on the right of Hughes. Snap, Hughes stands in the pocket, fires over the middle, over the outstretched hands of Joe Lyman, incomplete.
Yeah, Lyman was right there, but also kind of got lucky as James Lundy was almost there for a tip drill interception. Badgers got lucky here.
And one thing I will say is there was some nice blocking for the Badgers, particularly from their running back on that play, who I believe was Doolin, as brought an extra block after an edge rusher had beat his man. Gave Hughes time to have a chance to make that play, but unfortunately no dice on the connection. 3rd and long for the Badgers, 17 yards they're going to need here on their own 48. Hughes in the pocket, floats up a pass, and it's caught! Somehow caught as Shane Bushy turned around just in time. Going to be a little bit short of the first, but it's going to be a very doable 4th and short after a miraculous catch in traffic there.
Yeah, great heads-up play. And now the Badgers so close to a new set of downs here, but got to dial something up here.
Looks to be a gain of about 14 yards on that completion from Hughes to Bushy, and it'll be 4th and 3 from the 38. They're going to send Bushy in motion from right to left. They're also going to send Lyman. Going to make it a 3-receiver formation on the right side, 1 on the left. Hughes stepping up, scrambling to his right, trying to find it himself, reaching. Ball came out. Did it come out on contact, and did he reach across? I think he did. Absolutely got the first down. Big play there from Marquise Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes showing it a couple times this game, able to make those efforts, but Jesse, even if he did end up losing that, Shane Bushy was there. So nice here for the Badgers. Looks like they have something going. See if they're able to convert for the first time this game.
They were able to pull a rabbit out of the hat for a first down conversion thanks to the 14-yard desperate completion to Bushy, and then the desperate scramble from Hughes gets him the first down and 1 yard more, as it'll now be 1st and 10 from the Hitmen 34-yard line. One receiver on either side, one tight end on either side. Hughes, low snap, and he has to fall on it and gets smushed, as that flag might be for unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, little something after the play.
They might have ruled that Hughes gave himself up when he fell on that ball, in which case the defensive lineman pancaking him there might have drawn an unnecessary roughness penalty. Yes, they are going to call the unnecessary roughness call on the Hitmen, so the Badgers, despite effectively taking a sack, going to actually gain a good chunk of yards on the play. It's not actually going to be enough for the first, because an unnecessary roughness penalty, it's where the play ends. And is it an automatic first down?
I think they're calling it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I wasn't sure if they were calling it an automatic first, but they are. So the Badgers, with a lucky break there after a bad snap, they'll have 1st and 10 from what looks to be the Hitmen 28-yard line.
Well, they were bound to get a break after unlucky play in the first half. Now they got something going here.
Let's see what they can do. Hughes in the pocket. Pump fake, scrambles to his left, and he's going to get dragged down there for the sack. That play being made, I believe, by the Hitmen's number 25, Timothy Reza, as the Badgers go backwards once again.
Yeah, Reza did a great job. Found a gap between the O-line and just bursted through, and no time for anything to happen as he gets the sack, and now put back where they were going to be if they didn't get that unnecessary roughness call.
Loss of 10 on the play, as it'll be 2nd and 20 for the Badgers. They've had some plays where their blockers have managed to hold up and give Hughes some time to set his feet and set up for a throw, and then they've had some plays like that where he's just left running for his life.
Well, you can tell on the sideline, Jesse, you're definitely correct there, as you can hear from everyone saying, step it up, O-line, got to be big here.
3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, running back on the right of Hughes. Here, 2nd and 20 for the Badgers. Hughes steps back. Rush coming, floats out a pass. Too far for Doolin, but we got another flag. This might be roughing the passer against the Hitmen defense, and that would be a big break for the Badgers again.
I believe you're right. Again, another push right at the end of the play after he was down. Just unneeded contact.
Yes, that is going to be roughing the passer against the Hitmen. That's going to be another automatic first down. The Badgers, beneficiaries of 2 personal fouls against the Hitmen defense on this drive. And they're going to move up to what appears to be the 23-yard line.
Well, definitely some nice breaks they've had, but see now if they're able to put the ball in the end zone for the first time today.
Looks like two receivers on either side of the formation. And we got a false start. Left tackle started to move his body and then just couldn't keep his balance as he was leaning back. 5-yard penalty, still first down, but it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Badgers from the Hitmen 28-yard line.
Yeah, it just seems to be just flag on the Hitmen, flag on the Badgers, just back and forth. Nothing's really going on. See if Badgers are able to do something here.
Two on either side. Doolin, the running back, on the right of Hughes. Snap, free play for the Badgers. The flag flies. Hughes launches a missile looking for Bushy out of his reach. But that is going to be an offside penalty against the Hitmen. So Badgers took their free shot trying to go deep. Didn't connect, but they lose nothing. And in fact, they gain 5 yards. Right back to 1st and 10. So 3 straight penalties. I think 4 in the last 5 plays. Or 4 in the last 5 snaps, I guess, as a lot of these plays just don't technically count as plays.
Yeah, Jesse, almost a big play as Bush almost came down with it, but I think when he was turning to look at the ball, might have gotten the sun in his eyes, but I think it was just a little past him anyway.
Yeah, it was a little wide of him, a little too far wide of the sideline there. But the Badgers reset 1st and 10 back at the Hitmen 28. They're going to stack all their receivers, all 5 of them, on the right side. I've not seen this formation from them before in all my years covering them. Let's see what kind of play this is. Snap, Hughes juggled it, takes off, scrambling, looking, firing. Flag is thrown, the ball is dropped. Joseph had it in his hands. Hughes is down holding his ankle. That's not good. And a flag on the play. So much to say on a wild play like that. This could be so many different kinds of bad for the Badgers, if for no other reason than their starting quarterback is coming off the field hobbled.
At least he looks like he's able to jog, just going to jog around, but definitely, Jesse, when that first happened, little shocking for everyone, as it could have been a devastating injury for the Badgers. But talking about it, almost possible touchdown there, but a flag on the field, Jesse.
Ineligible man downfield on the Badgers, so it wasn't almost a touchdown. Kind of lets Joseph off the hook for dropping that pass, at least on the score sheet, as that wouldn't have counted even if he had caught it.
Well, Jesse, I'm not exactly sure if we were able to see the full nature of that play that they drew up, because 2 Hitmen just got straight through the offensive line once again.
And the snap was dropped.
Yeah.
They were just left scrambling. Looks like the penalty might have been declined, in which case it should read 2nd and 10. The chain gang haven't flipped the marker, but I'm pretty sure it's 2nd and 10. 4 receivers lining up on the right. The Badgers bringing a couple of exotic formations here, as now the quarterback out there is Ray Kirkland. Fires a screen, and oh, it goes through the hands of Shane Bushy, but another flag thrown right at the tail end of the play. Marquise Hughes stretching on the bench. As for now, number 11, Ray Kirkland, in at quarterback for the Badgers. I don't know what this flag is. Looked like it might have been picked up, or maybe it was against the Badgers and it was declined by the Hitmen.
Yeah, and they're going to time out, I believe. Not sure. I believe the Badgers called it. Might be incorrect, but looks like.
Yeah, a little. It's last few things have been a little bit confusing. No
Yeah, just
question
back and
about
forth
that.
penalties for both teams, as we've really been stuck between that 25 and 50-yard line for the past.
Several.
Yeah.
Several. For the past several. I'm not adding a unit of time. Okay, so the down marker reads second down. I'm pretty sure it's third down, but I'm not sure. Maybe there were offsetting penalties on that first play. I'm
not sure because I don't believe there was any contact on anything on the dropped catch from Bushy, so possibly another roughing the passer call, but would have gone to and it's sticking at second down.
That's what I'm so confused about. So I think it's 2nd and 10 at the 28.
Yeah, and it will stay second down.
At least according to the chain gang. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for the Badgers. Ray Kirkland staying in at quarterback. He's got number 2 Xavier Garcia sharing the backfield with him. Kirkland takes the snap rush, coming, floats out a pass, looking for Garcia over his head. And that's going to be incomplete. The Badgers looking for a flag, looking for a late hit, as Garcia got hit after the ball floated over his head, but the officials not throwing a flag on that one. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I thought that might have looked a little late, but possibly they think it was still
within the window of something.
Yeah. And another 3rd down here. See if after all of this on and off time, they can make something happen. Hughes is back in the game.
So he is. Marquise Hughes back at the quarterback position for the Badgers. They're happy to have him back. 2 receivers on either side of the formation this time. Hughes looking to throw in the pocket, and he's hit from behind, lost the football, and O-lineman falls on it. Hughes just couldn't find a man, had some time, but not enough to make something happen, as that's going to bring up 4th down and a long ways to go for the Badgers. Unless that was actually 4th down and maybe the chain gang had it wrong the whole time. And maybe I was right and they were just 1 down behind. If that's the case, I'll be a little peeved, but you know what? It's the end of the 3rd quarter. That much I can say. As we switch directions, our score at the end of 3 remains the Haverhill Hitmen 28, the Metrowest Golden Badgers 0. And so we'll see if this is 4th and forever for the Badgers or if it's 1st and 10 for the Hitmen. I think it's 1st and 10 for the Hitmen. I think that was a 4th down sack for Haverhill. And yeah, the chain gang did have it wrong. I should have trusted my instincts, but with all the weird flags being thrown around, yeah, it was easy to second guess myself. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hitmen as they take over at their own 29-yard line.
Well, Jesse, the Hitmen just 1 quarter away from their 2nd shutout game although they've played two teams a league lower, or
yeah, well, at least one division
yeah,
lower.
division lower.
Haverhill Hitmen, the AA division team, having played single A against the New England Black Panthers and now the Metrowest Golden Badgers. Ocasio, quick slant, hits his man. I believe that's Montañez.
Flag is down.
Flag was thrown. This would be a first down if the penalty is against the Badgers, and it is. Offsides on the Badgers is going to be declined. So the pass is completed. A gain of 17 on the play on that quick slant gets them to the 46. And they're going to stick with that hurry-up offense that's been working wonders for them. Casio, another offsides against the Badgers as Rodriguez takes off with it. Looks like he got close to the first anyhow.
Yep. Would expect another decline penalty here.
Looks like it. They're going to decline. And they're going to take 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard gain by Rodriguez. Part of what makes the Hitmen's offense so easy to run, they run everything out of the same formation. As they hand it off to Rodriguez, who bursts up the middle, finds a hole into the secondary, and gets way more than he needed for that first down.
Well, the Hitmen really haven't needed to do any huge plays through the air. It's just been working on the ground game all day for the Hitmen. It's just been working, and even when the Badgers know it's coming, Jesse, they can't really stop it. He always seems to get 5-10 yards out of every play, and really that's just been the key to this game for the Hitmen, why they've been succeeding. Ocasio
firing and incomplete, could not be hauled in by Watson. That was Jean Janvier in coverage. Maybe a step or a half step behind him, but the throw out of reach needed to be on target if they were going to complete that one. 2nd and 10 from the Badgers, I believe, 27. Ocasio, handoff. Rodriguez has room, going to his right towards the sideline, forced out of bounds after another big gain. That'll get him another first down.
Yeah, again, back to the ground game, and it's just been working all day. Got past Jean Anvier and a couple other Badger players, just not able to bring him down at all. Quite the big game he's had so far. Quite the big impact.
It'll be 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Looks to be about the 12. So the Hitmen could still get a first down. Ocasio, screen pass, hits his man. That's Osorio dancing around tacklers, but finally gets wrapped up and brought down as he couldn't dance around 3 potential tacklers. Finally gets wrapped up.
Yeah, between Mitchell over there and everyone else, did a good job limiting him, finally bring him down. As the Hitmen finally decide to go to the air, doesn't really work that much for them.
Yeah, they got a big play through the air on their first play of the drive on that quick slant, but since then it's been all ground game, as it looks like they gained 1 yard on the screen pass to Osorio. Now a handoff, bursting up the middle, that's Rodriguez. Barreling forward, he's going to be very close to the goal line, might have gotten a first down. Yeah, looks like it's going to be 1st and goal right at the doorstep.
Yeah, and like you said, knocking on the doorstep here would be number 5 on the touchdown marker for them today.
For the 2nd game in a row, they would reach the end zone for a 5th time.
Chance here.
Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal from either the 1 or the 2. I think it's the 1.
Yeah, and a chance here if they do get the touchdown and the extra point does go for them. and the score does stay the same, it would be 35-0 for the second straight week for the Hitmen. But big defensive play here for the Badgers that they'd love to get something going here, but with first and goal, you know what's coming, Jesse.
Yeah, probably going to be a handoff to Rodriguez right up the middle would be the safe bet, but they fake it, go for a slant, and hit their man wide open. Shows what we know, a pass completed to Sean Osorio for his second receiving touchdown of the day.
Well, a little confusion from 24 as he just got lost trying to double team the slant, and Osorio just in nobody's land, and open touchdown there as it's 34, possibly 35 here with Brasso setting up.
Yep. Play action worked to perfection on that one. Even faked out us. We both thought we knew exactly what was coming, and they said, "Oh yeah, watch this."
I think they expected everyone to know that, and they faked it.
Grasso puts one through. He is now 10 for 10 to start the season. And a 1-yard touchdown pass in a situation where many expected a run. Eat your heart out, Russell Wilson. 35-0. The Hitmen lead the Badgers here in the fourth quarter.
As we hear the talk in the sideline to keep fighting, and that's what they really need. Trying to get something to go.
If they can get out of here without, preventing the shutout, if they could get in the end zone one time, even if they lose in blowout fashion, preventing the shutout could help the Badgers to at least come off the field on a high note.
Yeah, and look on to next week.
In the meantime, the Hitmen setting up to kick this one away. Looks like a different kickoff man this time. 93 sends one in short off a couple bounces, picked up by Joe Lyman. Lyman trying to find a hole. Short return, but still past the 40. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Badgers.
Yeah, and probably, as again, we don't have the exact time, but closing toward the end of the game, this might be their last time on offense today. See if they can bring something out of it, Jesse. As you said, end the game on a high note.
Yeah, well, with the lengthy drives that the Hitmen have been able to have all day long thanks to the strength of their ground game, you know, it's hard to imagine the Badgers getting the ball back after this possession. So you want to make the most of this one. Again, it's hard to estimate because we don't have an active scoreboard clock operating right now here at Daly Field. The Badgers coming out with two receivers on either side. Hughes misses the snap and has to fall on it. And this time the Hitmen just touch him down, don't try and fall on him, and so that'll be an easy quarterback sack.
Yeah, Jesse, and that's, I believe, now number 4 poorly snapped one that just results in an automatic loss of yards. Just that communication with the O-line, the quarterback hasn't gone their way, but second down here, see if they're able to do something.
2nd and 20 after a 10-yard loss on the bad snap. Hughes gets a good snap this time, firing a pass, hits Joseph. Joseph dancing around tacklers, trying to make it even more out of something, and tried a little too hard, but still got about 10 yards on the play to undo the bad snap and bring up 3rd and 10.
Well, you know that's their guy. They've been looking to get him all day. got him there for a nice gain, and they're just short the first down marker.
No, they're not. They are 10 yards short of the first down marker. They are right at where they are right back where they started from. Yeah, no, it throws you off.
Completely forgot with the loss, and then
it throws you off because all of a sudden there's 3 markers instead of the usual 2, and gets confusing. But yeah, gain 10 yards to undo the damage. But now 3rd and 10. 2 receivers on either side again for the Badgers. Back at their own 43. Hughes in the pocket, scrambling to his left, looking, winding, firing. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's intercepted. And the Hitmen will take it back on the interception. Looked like the ball came out and another Hitmen player came away with it and started running with it, but they blew the play dead. So in all that chaos, I'm not even sure who intercepted it for the Hitmen.
Yeah, that would be Jordan Jones, got up there. I believe he was the one who grabbed it out of the air.
I don't think so. I saw 14 and 9 walking off the field because it wasn't the guy who had the ball in his hands at the end.
Oh, yeah. So you're right. So yeah, Jordan Jones, the one with he had the ball at the end, but not the one who got it.
Yeah, I think it was either number 14, Damian Perez, or number 9, Dimitri Acevedo Torres. But either way, for the Hitmen, they get the ball back. 1st and 10 here in the 4th. Badgers trying to go for a home run play there, but the Hitmen defenders got the inside leverage and were able to come away with that pick.
Yeah, just quite the desperation shot.
Now running up the middle and busting off tacklers and going deep into the secondary there. Rodriguez, once again, he's been having such a strong day on the ground for the Haverhill Hitmen. Only 1 rushing touchdown, but a high number of yards to be sure.
Yeah, totally. Again, another one of those plays where he just finds that gap and he just bursts through for a nice gain as they were kind of pushed back in their own territory, but one play and they're right out.
3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Ocasio in the pocket, fires a pass through the hands of his intended target. I believe that was Lundy.
Yes.
And so that'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, James Lundy kind of squatted down a little bit, but just right through his hands. He was in the right position. A good idea from the Hitmen, but it doesn't go for him. See if the Badgers able to do something with this here.
You know, one thing I will say is this is one of the first times I've been so happy to have the breeze blowing in off the river right next to us with how hot it's been all day. The wind has been such a welcome guest here. Ocasio, quick slant, finds his man, that's Watson, dancing around one tackler, finding a hole and bursting through for another big 1st down catch and run.
Yeah, just cuts, grabbed it right around on the right side, just cuts right through 2 Badgers players, and finally is tackled down right around halfway, just a little short around the 45.
Yeah, that's the exact kind of play that Jonathan Joseph was trying to make for the Badgers on the last possession, but there was just always another Hitmen defender that he had to dance around. That time, just dancing around one, and he found the hole. And again, Ocasio finds his man. This is Jones. Jones trying to race to the outside, gets stood up and brought down. Went backwards, might be right at the 1st down marker, looks like.
Yeah, Campbell and Envier were right there trying to just force that ball out of his hands. But nothing goes from there as Jordan Jones hangs on tight for a nice gain.
1st and 10 from the Badgers' 45-yard line. Three receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Ocasio steps back, a statue in the pocket, fires a deep shot down the left sideline, and no chance there. Matching him step for step was Jonathan Joseph in coverage.
Yeah,
And
Joseph.
that might have been the last play of the ball game. I think it was. I think that is going to do it. One last defensive stop by the Badgers to keep the score as it is. That's going to be our final. The final score here at Daly Field, the Haverhill Hitmen 35, the Metrowest Golden Badgers 0. Not an entirely surprising result. The Hitmen, the higher division team, certainly the favorite on paper. The Badgers had a few nice plays but couldn't string anything together as the Hitmen took care of business. 3 passing touchdowns from quarterback Isaiah Ocasio. 2 of them to Sean Osorio and 1 to Tashawn Watson. And then 1 rushing touchdown each from Jordan Jones and Joshua Rodriguez. Rounds out the scoring there. The Hitmen improved to 2-0 on the season while the Badgers fall to 1-1.
Yeah, Jesse, Hitmen matched their score from last week, but got to give credit to the Badgers. You know, coming into this game as underdogs, they definitely put up a fight. Had just some unlucky plays happening with some missed snaps, miscommunication plays that led to touchdowns. But just you got to give credit to them. They definitely fought. As they take on the Silverbacks next week, they will try and get some points on the board like they did against the Ravens last week. See if they're able to get something going and move on, as they were definitely the underdog. But Jesse, got to give credit. They fought.
Absolutely. And like you said, they'll be back, the Badgers, here at Daly Field next Saturday on June 28th. Set for another 5 p.m. start time, as they will be hosting the New London County Silverbacks. We'll have coverage of that game back here on this channel. I know the Wi-Fi hasn't been great out here at Daly Field today. Hopefully it's a little better next week. And either way, we'll always have the recordings of these broadcasts uploaded to this same channel later on the same night. But for tonight, that is going to do it. Nico Wise, thank you so much for joining us for the first time this weekend. And thank you all for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Haverhill Hitmen 35, Metrowest Golden Badgers 0. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.